Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl, and today I have a fun video for you. So the other day I did a video on using your inkjet printer to make transfers for light colored garments. Now that got me to thinking, because that process is not very permanent, and there are a lot of care instructions because it is fragile. So with that in mind, I was racking my brain thinking about it because, if you're wanting to do something that is a little bit more permanent, it does require kind of a hefty investment. And a lot of people, if you're doing this for just personal use, you don't want to spend it. So I was thinking about that quite a bit on what you can do or what you can offer to your customers as well, because some people just don't want to spend that kind of money, but you also don't want something that, it's hand wash only. You can't use washing detergent. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I sat there and thought about it quite a bit, did some experimenting, and I think I have come up with a pretty ingenious solution. So I am pretty excited to share this with you, and hopefully y'all will be excited to see it soon, see it as well. So let's go over it. So for today's project, which is going to making your inkjet transfers more permanent, I am going to be using Specialty Materials ColorJet 3 dark inkjet transfers. So these are made for dark garments. You can use whatever brand you like. Specialty Materials, y'all know, is my ride or die. They are my favorite. So this is what the package looks like, and these are what the transparencies look like. So this is the side that it prints on. This is the back side. And then it also comes with the cover sheets for them, which look like this. And I will go over the instructions for you. So, ColorJet 3 Dark is a digital media textile transfer. It is designed for water-based pigmented desktop inkjet printers. So this is for your regular home printers. So my regular home printer is an Epson Workforce 4740. So this is not my sublimation printer. This is not my Sawgrass. This is just like what I would print like files on. So it's just a standard inkjet printer, or what you'd print like your schoolwork, that kind of thing. Because I know when I did my other video over inkjet, people were like, is this sublimation? No, it's just a standard regular printer. It's what you buy at Walmart that costs like $100, or sometimes you can find them for like $50. Okay. These are heat transfer sheets. It is a one-step printing for dark fabric using your desktop inkjet printer. Use inkjet print and cut system, or you can cut these by hand. It produces vibrant colors. It is thin and soft. It can also be applied with a hand iron. You can apply it to cotton, uncoated polyester, fabric blends. You cannot put this on nylon, dazzle cloth, shiny polyester, and moisture wicking materials. The sizes that this is available in is 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 17. And you can get this in 10 packs or in 50 packs. Now, there are some special precautions for this. Make sure the print is thoroughly dry before pressing. So that is important, because if you don't, it will smear the ink. Do not stretch, or cracking will occur, and not recommended for machine washing. But we're going to kind of go over some of that. Now, when you go to print this, you do not mirror it. You print it just like you would print anything else. It's a little bit different. Now, you do not use transfer tape with this. You cut around the design, peel it off the backing, and then use this wonderful little sheet to hold it down whenever you go to press it. Or you can use Teflon with it. And you can use that on top before pressing. Now you're going to press at 375 degrees with a medium even pressure for 25 seconds. You remove the transfer sheet when cooled. Do not repress. Now, the wash recommendations are hand wash and air drying. Not suitable for dry cleaning, no bleach, or aggressive detergents. So, what I was thinking about is Specialty Materials makes some products in their clear line. They make Frosty Clear and Glossy Clear. I decided to use Frosty Clear. So Frosty Clear and Glossy Clear, same product. One's glossy, one's frosty. Their instructions are the same. So it's thin and transparent. It's UV resistant. It's a polyurethane film. The glossy one is glossy. The matte is a semi-matte finish. Designs can be layered with other products. On dark fabric, this adds a fashionable tone-on-tone look. It's manufactured with a pressure-sensitive carrier for easy stacking so it's not sticky. It's acceptable to go on top of cotton, uncoated polyester, cotton/polyester blends, polyester acrylic blends. The thickness is 3 mils thick or 75 microns thick. The sizing available is 12, 15, 20-inch, and 30-inch wide. And it's available in 15, 30, 45, 60, and 90-foot rolls. You can also get it in 12 by 15-inch sheets in 10 packs. Now, to cut this, you will use a 45-degree blade. You will mirror the image just like any other standard HTV. You're going to apply it between 320 to 330 degrees. A medium even pressure, for 15 seconds. You're going to peel cold and then cover with a Teflon sheet and repress for 5 seconds. You can wash warm, tumble dry normal, and it's suitable for dry cleaning. So, my idea, and you can follow along with me, is to pretty much take the Color Jet 3, print it, cut it, stick it, cut it, weed it, stick it on top. So it makes, like, you know, those Uncrustable sandwiches? We're going to make a vinyl sandwich. And I have tested it. It works. It's beautiful. And you will see it on the end product. Now, the file that I am using today is available on my Patreon page for my $4 or more a month patrons. Now, you do not have to join. This is just how you follow along. The file is available. It has a PNG for printing. It also has the cut file for you to cut it for the print and cut, as well as to be able to use it to cut the Frosty Clear. And I also have an SVG of the file, so if you want to actually just cut the whole design out, which it is a very intricate design, you can do that as well. I would not want to do that because it's got buffalo plaid, but hey, more power to you. But if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, I will show you how to make this. So the first thing that we need to do is go to my Patreon page and download the files. So we're going to go to the Love file, which is the 127 of 2022 tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and download the black and pink Love for Print PNG. So I'm going to click on that blue link, and as you can see, that downloads it. Okay. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And then we're going to go ahead and click on the black and pink Love SVG. So as you can see, I have this saved as an SVG if you don't want to use this as a print file. And then I'm also going to click and save the black and pink Love outline SVG. So that is the cut file if you do want to print this. So now I'm going to go ahead and minimize out of that. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click, which this is kind of off screen, and I'm going to click on my PNG and open it up. Let's see if I can kind of shrink this down so you can see the whole thing. Because since this is the way that it is, I am not going to sit here and open up Corel Draw to print this, nor am I going to print this from Cricut Design Space, because if I do, it will shrink it down, because Cricut Design Space wants to print those horrendous borders around it, and that's not what I want to do. Now, because we are printing this on the Color Jet 3 Dark, we do not need to mirror this. So what I'm going to do is I just have the PNG open. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to go to File, and we're going to go to print. Now I'm just selecting my regular Epson Workforce. This is just my standard inkjet printer. This isn't my sublimation printer, anything like that. This is just your standard home printer. So I'm just choosing my standard print settings, the default settings. This isn't a two-sided print. Print entire image. Everything looks good. I am sending this to print. Pretty simple. That's all we got to do. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Now I'm going to go right here to Cricut Design Space and I'm going to click Upload. So we're going to click on Upload, Upload Image, Browse. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the black and pink cut file SVG, and we're going to select Open. And we're going to select Upload, select that file where it has the green box around it, and add it to the canvas. Okay, so this is pretty much set to cut the way that I want it to use for the frosty clear, other than I need to mirror it. But one thing I want to do is I want to cut this a little bit smaller, because to make this image last a little bit longer on my shirt, I want, when I cut it out of my Color Jet 3, I want there to be an outline of the frosty clear around it, so it pretty much seals it in on the shirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'll show you what I mean. So now I'm going to go ahead and paste it. Now this is what we're going to use for the frosty clear. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it, because that is going to have to be mirrored, and we're going to change the color. That just makes it a whole lot easier to know exactly what we're doing, if that makes sense. So that looks good. Now, one thing I am going to go ahead and do with that is I'm going to select the contour portion, and we're going to hide all contours. So that kind of gets rid of everything in the center. So that way, hold on. Let's go ahead and contour. Yep. And delete. Oh. Hold on. I don't know what you're doing. Sometimes that's what it does. Okay. Let's undo that, because sometimes it doesn't want to do what I want it to. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make this easier. I'm going to grab the Shapes tool. We're going to grab just any old shape. It doesn't have to be anything special. Why is it telling me? Oh, I guess I need to sign in to Design Space. I haven't done that yet. Okay, so I'm just pretty much adding this shape. Not anything major, but it's just pretty much to cover up that hole. And we're just going to weld those two together. You see what I mean? So now that's all one piece, because I don't need to cut the hole out for the love. So now on this portion, what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to offset this, but I'm going to offset this to the inside. Okay. Now there is a reason why I'm doing this, because I don't want it to be as big as I would want the frosty clear layer to be, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do it. Let's change that just a little bit. See, and that's part of it. It's like you kind of got to play with it just a little bit to figure out why there is that dot. I don't know what it's doing. Hold on, let's cancel that first. And I'm going to take a shape again. Let's grab a heart because we're going to fix that. Sometimes whenever you create designs, for some reason you get weird random pieces in things. Don't ask me why. So you've got to figure out ways to fix it. And this is also good for y'all to know because, again, these are things that can happen to you as well. Okay, let's try the offset again. Okay, yeah, you see how that disappeared now? Now why do I have that up there? Let's try that again. Not that we need it that big. Okay. I think that, let's make it a tad bit smaller. I don't want it to go too big. Okay. I think I like it like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and apply that. Okay. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select both layers and we're going to slice. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to delete the outline layer. There we go. There we go. So now if, say, we mirror this, I will show you what I mean. So let's flip it, wrong way. Undo. Let's try that one more time. And the reason why I'm showing you this is so that way you can kind of see what I did. So you see now whenever you hold it up to where the frosty clear is, so the lighter layer is the frosty clear. So you can see now that the frosty clear layer is bigger than the actual print layer. So that gives us a little bit of space to cut our design. So now we're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and reflip that. Okay, now we're going to click on make it. Now I have to we're going to choose on the mat. I do have to set up my Cricut, so I'm not going to show you the whole process. So we're going to choose right there. Everything looks good. That's already set up for mirror. We're not mirroring this one. Click continue. We're going to choose regular iron on for each. But if you give me a moment to change the camera angle, I will show you how to cut this. So hopefully y'all like the new angle and setup because hopefully you can see and hear better. So I had to go back and change this in the Cricut program. So I moved the design down on the Cricut mat about an inch from the top of the mat and from the side. So I changed it to a 12 by 24 inch mat. So that way I could do this because if not, it was too close to the edge. So just so you know. So we're gonna go ahead and load this. So hopefully it works this time. Brain's not working, you know. I forget things too. Little bit less sticky. So we're going to use the same mat. Now, whenever you are working with any of the clear vinyls, I like to take and lift a corner so that way you can see which side to cut on. Because if you look, they look pretty much the same from either side. So the thicker side is the carrier sheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lay this down on our mat. There we go. Pretty much straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to take my Scotch tape again. pretty much standard across the board. You know, I can take and use my spray adhesive to re-sticky this. I'm just not going to right now. So as you can see, here is my heat press. Now I have it set to 375 degrees for 25 seconds. Now we're gonna take our t-shirt, which is just a 100% cotton Tool-Tech shirt, and we're gonna lay it onto our heat press. There we go. Just like we normally would. Hopefully you can see everything really well. Okay, make sure everything's on there the way we want. Now I'm going to take the t-shirt guide, lay it on the heat press. Now I'm going to grab my Love design. Now I have the silicone or Teflon sheet that comes with the transfer paper, because you cannot use like any type of transfer mask with this. So I have removed it from that backing, but I am going to leave it held on there while I take and fold it in half, so that way I can find center of my design. So we're going to kind of hold it up to the light so we can see what we're doing. Makes it a little bit easier to do. Okay. Sometimes. Okay, hold on. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna flip it and then kind of just remove the backing sheet and then kind of work ourselves into place. I think we'll kind of be able to tell where center is pretty well. We just don't want to let it get too hot. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now this is a little bit more difficult to work with, just in case you're wondering. It would be easier with a carrier sheet. Now I have done it with a carrier sheet. It's just not recommended, you know. And again, those are things for you to test and find out and see what works for you and your situation. Okay. That looks pretty straight to me. Okay, so I'm going to take now and cover with the Teflon sheet. Okay. And again, this is set on a medium pressure, so you see how easy that is to close. And once this is through heating, we are going to stop the camera because I do need to let the heat press cool so I can change the temperature down to the 320 to be able to press the frosty clear over it. But I mean, this is a pretty simple and easy, straightforward process. About as easy as you can do. See, that looks good. It's on there. So now I'm going to stop the camera. We'll come back when the heat press is cool. So I'm back and my heat press is now cool to 320 degrees. So that is all set on there. So as you can see, this is my frosty clear layer. So you can feel which side the frosty clear is on because it's kind of raised. Now we're going to lay that over the top of our print. And again, you can easily see where your lines are to make sure everything's lined up over the top. So, I mean, it's pretty, you know, cut and dry. Everything looks good to me. And again, this is just kind of to seal that in. It makes it so this lasts so much longer. where you can launder it, that type of thing. And if you hear chewing in the background, Shadow's over here chewing a bone, and there's not much I can do about it. I'm sorry if it offends you, but you know, my dogs are always around. So we're gonna heat this for 15 seconds on a medium pressure at 320 to 330 degrees. We have it on 320, okay? And you want to peel cool. So we're gonna wait and peel it cool. And it also gives a really cool effect over the top of it as well. There we go. It just kind of gives it a different look. And you can also use the glossy finish with this as well. Look how cool that looks. Okay, now we're gonna do that one more time, but we're gonna do it for 5 more seconds, and then it's done. And then you've got a shirt that's going to last. And it's that simple. Now, you can practice with it a little bit more to make sure everything's perfect. This was done, you know, quick, simple, and easy. But I think it looks absolutely amazing. What do you think? But I guess that's it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I am trying to post a little bit extra to get back on track, but I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.